And I think we're live. Or maybe now we're live. Anyways, super exciting. I was going to do this a little bit ago, but I had YouTubing problems. So, big news. I'll flip my screen over to desktop view. Let me make sure I got the right screen up here. Of course, it's not. So, go. Helium.com. If you go to helium.com, supposedly everything is new. So I am seeing this for the first time and you all are missing it. I'm so sorry. You're missing the reactions. Okay. There we go. Yay. Look at that. It is buzzing around. Things are happening. Cool UI. Is that that's no moon? I don't know what that is. Ooh. Oh, that's kind of neat. You can just kind of play with this. I don't even know what this is. What are those UX designers doing? They probably did they spend an ungodly amount of time doing this, or is this just something that they copy and pasted off of Stack Overflow? Just kidding. This is really impressive. It's a cool UI. I actually really am impressed by all of these things. Let's see here. Okay, now I can see comments and the YouTubes and all of this. So I wanted to get a live reaction. I don't know what's going to happen here, so we're just going to like scroll here, but I'm too busy like playing with the northern lights here or whatever this is. I'm going to click on this moon. It's not a moon. Oh, there's stuff there. Cool. V3. How do I vote? When moon? Oh wait, there's the moon. Ooh, there's an eclipse in there. Wait, is this running on Java? Okay, have I made enough jokes yet? Is it a black hole? Is the comment. A619. Long time no see. It's been a while since I did a live stream too. I had to look back. What number is this? It is stream 21. So let's I don't know, click this arrow. Beyond wireless. Okay, so there's a post. Helium is evolving to a comprehensive platform capable of supporting an even wider array of decentralized infrastructure and improving existing utility for IoT, mobile, and energy. Woot. Okay, so we're fine there. Read the post, I think, is all that it. I'll just scroll down here. Okay, is there? I guess we just read the post. Reimagined HNT economics. Okay. I guess this is just the TLDR. This is what they're going to propose. Scalable network infrastructure and enhanced sub-network utility. So I don't know. These are all the proposals, TLDR stuff. Okay, so the only thing that we can do is read the posts. So let's just do that. I see the comments. Didn't I fall out of a tree or something? Yes. We will talk about that some other time. That was a fun one. If you didn't catch that, we can put the put the link to the video in the comments or something like that. Somebody can peruse my channel and look at that. But anyways, okay. I hate to read this, and I'm not going to do like they did in grade school and take turns. If we had a live stream and we had more people, shout out for needing upgrades. If you want to drop me some crypto, I'm a DY cat now. We haven't even talked about that on this channel, but if you want to drop some crypto to my DY cat address and you figured that out, you can drop some there. Maybe we can do some upgrades on streaming capabilities and stuffs. But all right, let's read here. You're going to probably see a lot of silence. I apologize. Maybe you can get in the chat and figure out have some fun conversations about me falling out of a tree. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, so IoT, mobile, and now energy. If you didn't catch that, they voted to add energy to, which is Sourceful and their project, into the Helium ecosystem. So, blah, blah, blah. Context is important. If you don't know what Helium is, you should probably read all that. Let's just skip through this. If you see something that we should go back to that seems important, just throw it in the comments, or throw it in the chat and we'll go from there. Um, all right. Remove ongoing HS. Whoa. This is a big one. These are key elements they're asking the community to consider. They've been asking for this for well, I should say the community has asked this for years, I think, if I remember right. Removing ongoing HST emissions. So that's a portion of the rewards that go to the initial founders, I think, and the venture capitalists that got in really, really early and hopefully have made a lot of return on their investment. Is it time to turn that over? And yep, we got it started. I think we're seeing some new versions of venture capitalists that are, yes, they want to make their quick buck, but then they want to move on to the next thing and build that. And so, out of interest for what they're building, they go ahead and take their exit and take their profits and go ahead and run. And they say, "Great job, community! Keep up the good work and good luck." And so they don't need any more money. Maybe that's what this is, I think. So go ahead and I will read the comments as I'm doing this. All right. So performing a one-off mint of 5 million new HNT for HST redemption. Okay. So this is kind of like a buyback. About a 50% discount of future expected emissions. So it just gets them off the board, the HST implication off the board. I think a lot of projects do this as they pivot and have. I know one of the other projects I'm interested in and participating in is Planet Watch. I've done an unboxing that I actually didn't get to the channel for some reason. Sorry about that. But they're doing a thing where, okay, they had to reconfigure things and then figure out, okay, what tokens are going to stay, what tokens are going to go, and kind of figure out that big pivot. So this happens a lot when things go wrong, and so you got to kind of just realize that. So, all right, redeemable for locked HNT for up to a year after implementation. So if you are an HST holder, you can't just that's kind of a nice thing is that if you believe in the project, okay, you can get it. You can redeem your HST for HNT, but it's locked for a year. Interesting point there. Is that count as a stake? Is it going to be votable on, so that they can, if they have either a doxed or not doxed, but does it count as a stake so that they could use it for voting power and automatically get voting power for a year? Is a question I'm immediately reading. Sorry if this is a bunch of BS hot takes. You're going to get a lot of this because I've never read this before. And we are doing this live so that we can get the community going and get thoughts going, because this is just Ed's interpretation of this, which could very well be wrong. All right, introducing protocol nodes. I know Abai's been talking about this for years, and there's a good sentiment in the community about this decentralization, is that it's decentralized, and then there's a big asterisk. If all the oracles are running centralized, then it's truly not decentralized. So then you can take the entire stack of toolery and oracles all the way across, and this goes from even like centralized exchanges. You can look at that and say, well, if we can only use centralized exchanges, then we're all kind of screwed, because we have heavy dependence on this centralized infrastructure. So you could say that most projects, if not all, are still centralized in some form or another. So this is why I still get attracted back to Helium, in that connectivity is almost like a human right, and we all deserve to connect and participate and in this network and connect each other, because this is the basis for electronically transferring information with each other. So I think that that's a good thing. So a little bit of Ed dribble there, I guess. All right. Protocol nodes, implementation of Solana Network's extension is paid in transaction fees directly by an AT&T by subnetworks and other non-native protocols. So is this like gas? Is this how gas fees are invented? I don't know. Establishing a market-driven way for a combination of both HNT and subnetwork tokens to be burned by network users. So I think this is the ratio of like variable and how each individual token is working and their own burn rates so that there is equilibrium in the system, right? We don't want one to outperform or denigrate another, and we don't want one to just win and then all the profits get surfaced back to the other things, right? I think that's how I would read that. And device deployers. This is interesting. This was one of my hot takes here that if you thought about future DAOs, I still think that there's going to be a DAO for deployers. That just there's going to be really expensive equipment and just other equipment that wants to get scaled. And so they're going to a DAO to get set up to deploy deep in equipment, I think is a very, very good idea. And maybe I'm kind of biased in there. I think DY Cats is ahead of the curve on there, although they're still getting themselves going. So we'll see what happens there. All right. In order to reward protocol nodes for work, we'll continue to provide HNT a new fixed emission schedule established, 5 million HNT annually to existing subnetworks. So changing this emission. And immediately this is when people start calling rugs and you can't do that. It was fine the way it was and all that stuff. So I fully expect there's going to be a large amount of people that are crying out rug and wolf and people taking their exits. This is going to be an interesting time as we go forward. So yeah. I don't know where we're out on the emissions schedule right now of where it would have been to where it was. So, yeah, I see a shout out for Discord at 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know which Discord that is, but I would assume if they are all live talking about this on the Helium Discord, yeah, you're going to get a bunch of top-down information, but then you can always get on the Helium Discord and get on the voice chat there and talk about it. I'm sure you can get lots more information. It's good shout out for that. All right, introducing the concept of a Helium network extension. I don't know what this is. It's inspired by Solana's network extensions. Don't know what that is either. So more information. Okay, key features. Scalability through specialization. Well, okay, we kind of are doing that already by the mobile and all that kind of stuff. Mobile, IoT, and the like. 1 second. Answer a text. That's what you get when you're deciding to do a live stream, right? There we go. Okay. Extended execution environment. Extension provided specialized processing equipment. Man, this is a lot of word jargon that I'm sure is important but needs to be processed. I'm just going to skip all this right now. Enhance reliability. Sometimes I feel like this is like some corporate brief. Like, no, this is too corporate. I want to like copy and paste this into like Chat GPT and like give me a TLDR on this or Copilot or whatever AI is your flavor. Evolving IoT and mobile economics. Yeah, we know a lot of people have been wanting to get that addressed. So utility vaults. Maybe one thing I would observe in here is that a lot of people are just like, should I hold on to these tokens? Should I swap them? I don't know what I'm doing. Like and they're asking what they're asking me what they should do. I'm like, I'm just with you. I have no idea what we're supposed to do. I know some people have been taking care or taking advantage of like swap ratios. And so that like basically just by making these easy moves, they're like our arbitrage opportunities, right? Your IoT is worth more against HNT at sometimes than another. And so then you can swap it back and forth and start stacking. Um, Big, huge caveat in that there may be tax things that you need to be aware of in that. Um, okay. Well, instead, escrow USDC to a utility vault. Whoa, this is interesting. Okay, again, I'm gonna have to read this more, and I don't want to just have dead silence while I comprehend all this stuff. Oh, they're suggesting a ratio is defined as the USD value of mobile is locked and as VE mobile relative to the USD value of HNT locked. Oh, interesting. So they're pegging a bunch of these things so that we don't have. This is interesting. If I'm, then I could be totally messing this up. But if you lock in the price of a lot of these, then you don't have this like hodl mentality, right? Oh, token go up, right? If they're locked into these prices, then there might be some give and take of like micro opportunities to make the money by mining. But if it's locking the utility of it, is like we obviously you don't want nobody wants to pay more for their cell phone bills, right? If we could pay next to nothing, that would be amazing. And if it stayed at next to nothing forever, that would also be amazing, right? There are some uh, implications of that of like obviously who's going to buy the equipment, who's going to maintain it, all that kind of stuff, which is why we're here, right? So um, but there's a maximum to that is all of a sudden if your cell phone bill starts going up, well, if it doubles, well then maybe that over time, or like the streaming companies do, Netflix and the like, they like to raise those rates on you, and it makes everybody sick of that, right? We used to pay cable, and that's why we got out of cable bundling and all that kind of stuff. So now if a service has uh, a top point to it, then it can't go over that. And then the sense in holding on to that token is maybe now a lot not as worth, right? So it removes a lot of the speculative value. If I'm understanding this right, at least I'm looking at some of the comments in the chat um, and doing some maybe relate. Hopefully, I'm barking in the right space, right? Let's see here. If IoT, oh, there's just more examples of this DC usage, obviously. Um, yeah, I think that some thoughts in the chat and in here are that like, well, yeah, some utilities should be like if there's more data transfer happening on one network versus another, that's interesting and maybe able to be involved in there. But like obviously mobile, somebody streaming Netflix versus which is consuming a lot of data, and versus IoT usage, and like somebody's doing a megabyte of traffic a year. Well, those are two different things. So and they're still quite the IoT usage is like, wow, that's pretty, or like say it was like a gigabyte, which would be a lot of data. That's probably way too much data that would be done on the IoT, but that would be an impressive use case if it was regular and somebody was paying for that, right? Okay. Um, oh, it looks like active governance rewards. So people, they want to pay people to vote. I get this. I get this. Um, if you're staking and you get the power, I just want to reward you for participating in the network, right? Making good moves. and voting, that continued thing. I think there's another portion of this is like that. I don't want to say doxing of wallets, but just like figuring out who is actively making the best moves for the network, and if that is established through um, your docs wallet, um, which is you can have a private, or you can put yourself as the a voting proxy. Well, then if you become this voice for the network, I don't know. Somebody could even suggest that proxied votes get some reward proportional to the amount of power that they're proxied, or something like that. There's some interesting implications in there. Okay, fixing delegation rewards to 6%. Okay, so there's that. Reimagining VE tokens. I know that this was one of the ones that, like, when the initial governance launched on that terrible platform that was terrible to use. I'm so glad that they replaced it. Um, yeah, it was complicated, and people didn't understand it right when it came out either. So, okay. H&T can be locked out up to 4 years. Okay. People should feel comfortable staking. Okay. We suggest switching the VE token system from being forward looking to backward looking. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to read on that more. Obviously, it goes into it there, but I want to keep moving this. I don't want to go longer than what am I at now? 20. Yeah, I don't want to go further than like 10 minutes now, or 10 minutes left in this stream. Okay, potential implementation plan V3. Let's see, economic changes. Remove a portion of utility score. Implement subnetwork specific data credits with utility vaults. 50% emissions for slotted for protocol nodes is not emitted. Implement the new staking system. Parallel infrastructure in V3.1. Introduce node running and staking capabilities. Node emissions. Run a parallel pipeline for verification purposes. Ooh, I like this idea. For those that are interested in like trying out economics. So if we're going to reward whatever, if you're separating the nodes that are running on a network, and you have these nodes that are, you believe, are doing very well, and these nodes over here are doing terrible, not giving any utility to the network at all, or even these other nodes over there are they're gaming, they're so terrible, they're gaming, and they should just be axed. Well, as you play with all those formulas, then you want to conjecture what the reward structures would look like. And so this would be very interesting to um, almost like for those that are in uh, in the tech community of like A/B testing and oh gosh, virtualization of infrastructure, so that you could switch. If you're like, oh, okay, well, we have this new economic system, and we're gonna watch it over time. We're gonna have two economic systems, but we're running on A, but we're gonna test out B and live, and then you get to uh, watch those results, and then you decide, what, B is better. And then, like, a bunch of people put forward, we should vote on B should be the one to supersede A. And then you could actually vote on that and make B the new one, and then decommission all that infrastructure for A, and then you do that again. So it's very interesting. I like that idea. I think that's what that means there for verification purposes. Okay, and then allows test to refine the system without disrupting current operations. So that whole migration of this, when they were on the L1 to Solana, it took, and there was a lot of overlap and a couple herky jerky moments there. And when the L1 completely just flatlined a couple times and they had to fix it, all of those things. So they like that. That sounds great. I think that's a good idea. full transition to node infrastructure. Um, which just a little bit on that is just that, do are they going to centralize that? Probably at first. Are they going to run these on AWS and the like? Yeah, probably. I'm still a fan of having that, even that still that decentralized architecture, um, and cloud, decentralized cloud infrastructure. And there's more than a few projects out there that are doing that. So it'd be interesting to see if that would all work. But can we get the bandwidth required for that? The data, the capabilities, all that kind of stuff. That's yeah, lots of stuff. Okay. All right, community involvement. This is where you come in. This is very, very important. Feedback on the plan. Do you hate this? Love this? Um, they want to talk about it. This will be talked to death for quite a while here. I would assume as I look back to this, you know, V3.0 through V3.2, I'm guessing we're looking at, I don't know, a year in transition to V3.2. I don't know the timeline, but when they announced they were moving to Solana, it was a lot of work. So I don't anticipate that this will go fast. So testing and verification, yep. Performance monitoring, yeah, that'll, as I talked about, I'm very excited about that. Economic model refinement. There are people much smarter than me out there on the economics to figure it out. I just enjoy doing the tech and making the difference and all that kind of stuff. So ongoing dialogue. Yep, that's the thing. I'd like to believe that the community has open ears on this. Hopefully we see less emphasis on the leadership of this. Obviously, it still takes votes, but I think the intention is to decentralize a lot of that. And put that power in the community where it lands. So I guess the only other thing I would say on this is that, here, next steps. AMA is okay, dedicated channels, okay, transparent community-driven process. My hot take, in if you would have asked me, what do you think about V3 before it even launches? I still would have said, I think a lot of people are just going to come out and say, "Rug, it's terrible." Like, and there's a little bit of comment in the chat about that, and that's understandable. Like, these are huge decisions, and of course, the federal implications of that, of what's going on as well. Not that Helium is under the scrutiny that I know of, but just that things are happening, and there's going to be unpopular moves. So let's say that there's always a reason why there's a voice, and like, let's say that, and this is absolutely not my current setup, but let's say I was like making millions of dollars by gaming the Helium ecosystem. Well, and then they're going to make these changes that are obviously going to rug my millions of dollars in earnings all the time. Well, then, of course, I'm going to be mad. Of course, I'm going to be like, this is terrible and all that stuff. So you're going to hear those voices. You're going to see some reasonable voices, and then hopefully we can get to some consensus. So I love participating in that consensus stuff. I tend to just tune down the voices on the edge that are like, this is terrible. Although I still will listen to them. If they have great points, totally willing to listen to them. But if it's just like, it's a rug, and calling out various people in the community of like, you're screwing this over, I'm like, as much as I've met these people and worked alongside them, I don't think that that's a thing, but I'm always listening, hear it out. But if you're going to devolve it to like personal attacks or, or worse, just some derogatory comments, then I'm just like, yeah, not going to listen to it. So that's my advice: is if you got valid views, state them, restate them. Better yet, condense them into forms and get them, and find allies for those is what I recommend. So yeah, this is cool. I'm going to go back to the this one, and oh man, there it is. Yay. I don't even know what V3 is yet. That's where we started this. This is where we'll end. I hope you all have enjoyed this hot take of reading a lot of words and trying to quick convert it to making some sense. Um, as always, hope you give me a like and a follow. Obviously, we'll have some more polished content after this, and we'll get out a link to the fall video. If you haven't watched that, you do, I think, need to be 18 on or verified on YouTube, and so that you can watch that. I just didn't want people to watch cringy content, and because there's like even my wife won't watch the video at all. She's no, no, not at all. Um, and others have regretted watching it. Others are like just laughing at it. So, and I take all the things there. So yeah, well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please get involved in the Discord, get involved in the community, and like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.